Before modern borders existed, before Africa was divided into nations, there was an empire so powerful that it controlled gold, salt, and trade across vast regions of West Africa. An empire that shaped global commerce and attracted travelers from Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. This was the Mali Empire. But how did it rise to greatness? And how did such a powerful civilization slowly begin to disappear? If you enjoy powerful African history stories like this, make sure to subscribe because here we uncover the forgotten empires and untold truths that shape the world we live in today. Now, let's continue. The story of the Mali Empire begins long before its golden age. It was built from the legacy of earlier West African kingdoms, but it rose to greatness under strong leadership and strategic control of trade routes. At the heart of its power was one key resource: gold. West Africa held some of the richest gold deposits in the world, and this attracted traders from across North Africa and the Middle East. But gold alone was not enough to build an empire. Mali also controlled another essential resource: salt. Salt was extremely valuable at the time, used for preservation and survival in harsh climates. The exchange of gold and salt became the foundation of Mali's wealth. The true rise of the empire began with the legendary figure, Sundiata Keita. Born into uncertainty and exile, Sundiata was not expected to become a great ruler, but history had other plans. Through determination, alliances, and military strength, he united fragmented kingdoms into a powerful empire. This marked the birth of the Mali Empire as a major force in West Africa. Under Sundiata's leadership, Mali began to expand its influence, securing trade routes and strengthening its political structure. But the empire was only beginning its journey. Generations later, Mali reached its peak under rulers who understood both power and diplomacy. The empire expanded across vast territories, controlling important cities and trade networks. Caravans crossed the Sahara Desert, connecting Mali to North Africa and beyond. Gold flowed outward, knowledge, salt, and goods flowed inward. At its height, the Mali Empire was one of the richest civilizations in the world, and at its center stood cities of immense importance, including Timbuktu, a hub of trade, education, and culture. Then came Mansa Musa, the ruler who would bring Mali global fame. Under his leadership, the empire reached its highest level of recognition. His legendary pilgrimage to Mecca spread Mali's name across continents. For the first time, the world saw the true scale of African wealth and civilization. But greatness often carries hidden challenges. After the death of Mansa Musa, the empire began to change. Future rulers struggled to maintain unity across such a vast territory. Internal conflicts began to grow. Regional leaders started gaining more independence. Trade routes slowly shifted to new powers. And over time, Mali's influence began to weaken. As Mali declined internally, new kingdoms and empires rose around it. These rivals competed for control of trade routes and regional influence. Gradually, Mali lost its dominance over the very networks that once made it powerful. What was once a unified empire began to fragment into smaller states. The story of the Mali Empire is not just about rise and fall. It is about vision, leadership, and the power of trade and knowledge. At its peak, Mali stood as one of the greatest civilizations in the world, and even after its decline, its legacy continues to shape African identity and global history. If this story opened your eyes to Africa's forgotten greatness, then you're just getting started, because next, we uncover the history of Timbuktu, the city that became the intellectual heart of an empire. Subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter.